First, we see Postman, live walkthrough, then SOAP UI, rest assured, JMeter, and I'm covering Datadog, synthetic monitoring concept only. Okay, uh, walkthrough only, and here I listed out all the necessary information need to be collected by API tester from development team. At the initial stage of the API testing, starting stage of the API testing. API tester should be aware of API design documents, contents, everything, how the API contract is created, and what is the design of each API, endpoint details, request and response structures, what are all the authentications we are going to use, error handling. For an example, from server side, if we receive 403 forbidden or 404 401 authorization error, 500 internal server error, if we get all these kind of errors, how are we going to present it in the client application? So that we need to understand, and we need to verify all these errors also properly, and third party dependencies, if any. So what kind of data that third party application is going to request us, and how much level of data we can agree and share it to them back. So that kind of requirements we need to be aware of. And marking strategy, as we are all working as agile methodologies, we know that testing need to be done from the initial stage itself. When UA development is not done, not yet started, and API testing is also under construction, in that case we can understand some of the endpoints, how it's going to be. For an example, if you are going to work on CRM applications, then mostly the endpoints will refer to the list of customers, posting the new customers. So the endpoints will have the word customer, something like that. So based on that, we can create one mock server, and using get and post URLs, and checking how the we get the feel of how the API is working as per the requirements. Then test data requirements, what are all the query parameters values we need to pass, path parameters are going to be, so mainly the query parameters, right? So these kind of requirements we need to understand, informations we need to collect from the development. This is for functional, and the next one is for performance. uh, in performance testing, we know that need to check how application is performing well under expected workload. Okay, it's not about finding the bugs, but we should eliminate all the performance bottlenecks. The bottlenecks comes from CPU utilization, memory utilization, network utilization, operating system limitations, disk usage. Okay, and we have to come to the agreement from the client that what is the acceptable response times, and what is going to our scalability goals, and when highest traffic time, how the API is performing. So all these things, how many number of concurrent users we are going to have for this application. So all these things we need to understand to perform the do the performance testing, and see the applications are meeting the expectations. So this is about the performance testing we cover. Next, in the Postman tool, I'm generally going to cover the collections, JavaScript creations to for assertions verifications. I mean, in any API testing, assertions are the key. So we cannot manually go and see whether 200 okay or 201 created or came for each request and all. So if we have the assertions in place, then automatically in the test results we can see the results, whether it's passed or failed. From that we can understand how the API is working. And authorization, different authorization we can see running requests in multiple environments, QA environment, dev environment. Obviously, we know that in the API request we may have the server IP and port numbers that may change with the different environments, dev, QA, and production. So we need to store these environments, so that whatever the changes need to be done in environment side itself, instead of changing the 100 requests or 200 requests. Okay, and passing the payload from JSON external file for post request, in the data-driven way, and mocking AP, creating mocking APIs and using Postman monitors. Now I switch on to tools, tool Postman tool, and here I have created this requests based on some sample API I got. So this is the get API. So here, if we hit this, okay, for the page 2, how many records there in the page 2 that it's displaying. ID 78 be generated by as per the API design, and we have the first name, last name, and all. So I for this get request I have written the scripts also. So this is the JavaScript we use to verify the response values, whether it's the status code is 200, and here 200 OK is coming, right? So status is OK, and here from the response, if you see, I copied this response and pasted it in already in JSON path finder. So why we are using JSON path finder in the online tool, in the online, to find the array index. We need not to count, like for an example, suppose I want to verify the first name of George, what array value this George is having, need not to count. If we have the long JSON file, we cannot count the 20th element or 25th element, something like that. Instead of that, this JSON path finder, if you put in the data, it gives all the array numbers, and if you expand the array number, we can see, okay, George is at 4th array. So so I verified it here. So you're getting the JSON response data of 4 first name. So I'm checking whether it's equal to George. Okay, when I run it, the test results came and it passed, like response message is okay. 4th array first name is valid, and also I'm printing this into the console. If we go to the console, I clear this and run it once again. The old messages are there. Okay, George. See, the output is George from the response, and now I saw that 1 minute stuck. Okay, it's here hidden. Okay, now if I go, there is an option in the Postman now. They implemented something called postbot. I didn't see that before. So this helps to generate the code which we want with the help of AI. For example, if I type like code to check status code, okay, if we give like this and submit, the AI itself is giving the JavaScript code, which is very helpful and easy to create the scripts as quickly as possible. So that's how I also created this, and I know this codes also PM expect. I usually use expect, and this is a BDD format, response.to.have.status. So this is the get request, and I created the post request. In post request, we post the embody, right? So it's an example thing. So it will be added, created. Okay, 201 created will come, and parameters are created. So this is a Google website. To see the city, you can change the value of this city to something, then it will be changed in the API also. Bangalore, and hit, then see the 200 OK. So 200 OK, and we got the response of it. So this is something what Google displays. Okay, and it doesn't have any authorization. And API key authorization, I used you know so API key authorization, app ID, the same, the open weather map. This is a public API. I got it from the website. and I generated the key in the website. I passed that API key here, and see, based on the API design, we can understand whether the API key, if we pass it along with query parameter, it should work, or it should work only on header. It depends on the design actually. So we see, if we check here, it works in the query parameter, as well as if we check in the header, it works for header also. So the temperature, weather, right, the weather is cloudy here in Chennai, and global variable. Okay, variables are there. Global is applicable to the entire workspace. We may have the n number of collections, like 10 collections or something inside the workspace. If you define any global variable, it will be applicable to all the collections. And if it is, so for example, I created basic auth authentication, this API. See, now we are having selected QA environment. Okay, so if we go to the environment variable, um, environment variable. If we go to the environment variable, in the QA environment, we have the username and password, right? In the same way, in the dev environment also, uh, sorry, we have to select environment. This is the dev environment. For dev environment also, we can have username and password, which is related to the dev environment. Username password which is related to the QA environment, we can keep it in the QA environment. So what basically happen is, in the API key, I have mentioned the variable username and password, and based on the environment we have it here, the corresponding username and password will be passed, and the API will execute. So this is the use of global variable and environment variable. And the mock servers, right? Mock servers, I already created one mock server here. For an example, if it's a CRM application or something, and here we can find the copy the mock server URL. As soon as we create a new mock server, the URL will be generated, and you can copy that URL and use that here. Okay, for the GET request, it's little slow. Next time. Okay, see, this is how the URL looks like, and as soon as the mock server, this one is here, the response also we need to, based on the requirement, we know, like how the response should be. I, I created like it should fetch us the customers records. Okay, I used a random first name, random last name, random email name. So whenever we hit it, it will randomly generate and display the corresponding response. This 200 OK also I created it here, and for the post also, for the post also similarly, I think I opened a lot of tabs. Seems should not be an issue, but it's better to close a few. Okay, for clarity. Okay, so here in the body also I'm passing the random first name and last name, and I return the example to show the first name last name created in the server side. Since it is random, it create each time Leslie and a versus game, and next time it will be different. Okay, and the another one is concept is pa- passing the payload for the post request from external JSON file. So when we pass it here in the body, we need to give the variable. If it is string, definitely that quotes and all we need to include, and need to check that, double check that. And then once that is done, we can if you go here and click run, then it will ask to select that external JSON file. I have the external JSON file here. I open it in the Notepad++. I change some other name. Um, my name itself, Ravichandran, and Suresh. I change it to Kiran. Okay, I save it. Now I upload that external JSON file here. Okay, users.json. And the preview will show what data we have in that JSON file. We can check that preview is showing correctly, and then can run that parsing. So 3 times we have 3 data, so 3 times executed, and I have written the JavaScript to display the results itself, like Ravichandran and actual Ravichandran. So expected and actual came from the JSON. So created, I mean the response from the response. So all this displaying here. If we go to the console also, it's showing all the values. Okay, so here in the scripts, I have written the scripts, and here that looping is happening. Okay, name and job we are getting, and the iteration uh, from the iteration we are getting, that we are storing from the iteration what we get the value, expected name, expected job, that we are storing, that we are cross checking and verifying with response.name. So response is something we already defined here. Response equal to pm.response.json. So JSON response, we are getting it in the response, and the tag is here. So name, so we are getting it and validating. So this is how the data driven works. So almost in the Postman side, and the last one is the monitors. So okay, if we go to the monitors, I have already created 2 monitors. So it's running from yesterday, and all are passed. If we click the 9 p.m. thing, the below that graph, we can see this is sample collection. So the data driven, whatever executor it's running, and if we run it, the outputs it already ran, outputs are here displaying. And if we have the another monitor, this is for request monitor, I mean that collection. So where we have you know the outputs. So this is how we can set the schedule. How we can schedule this? For an example, like create one uh, monitor, like new monitor, and I select this request collection, and any for an example, I want to check the dev environment APIs. Here we can set hourly, every hour something, and this is the email address and all, and create monitor. So I create a new monitor created. It will wait for 1 hour, and then it run. We run it now to see the result. We run it now itself. So is this running? I selected all the options correctly. It's taking too long. I go to edit and check one more time if I missed anything. Request collection is there. There is no JSON file required in this collection, and email address, okay, everything looks good. And if I go to the new monitor, again it's still running. Okay, so this is how we can check the API. API is healthy, all the APIs are healthy or not, that we can check it through this monitor. And one more thing, in the collection itself there is an option to select the collection and run the collection alone, this particular collection alone, like click run. It shows the old runs. Okay, click run, and it shows all the requests here. We can simply trigger this run request. There's no JSON file required. So this is the order of the requests. Okay, it runs in this order, so it's executing. All the outputs are coming. So we see no test found, no test found, which means I didn't include JavaScript assertion verifications in these APIs, request APIs. But here I mentioned something is failed here, so I'm not sure. Okay, so this is how the entire the Postman works. Now we move on to the next slide. Here the JSON Pathfinder we saw. If we want to validate our JSON format, okay, this one is Chai SSN library is whatever we create, no, the JavaScript. If we have any doubts or to look how to create and all, then Chai SSN library, they use Chai SSN library for that. In the Postman official website itself, they have this code and everything, so we can check it here and use it in our scripts. Okay, that's how it works. And if we go to the SOAP UI, okay, I took an SOAP UI. What is SOAP UI? It's I think it's a simple object access protocol. So it's very rigid and XML based messaging protocol. Okay, it uses it needs to use WSDL and to describe the web services. Okay, it uses HTTP protocol to transfer the message and communication, and also it uses SMTP or um, TCP something. So if we I have mentioned that here as well, TCP, yeah. So XML and WSDL WSDL is required for client application to understand how to communicate with web services. So that's why this WSDL is important for SOAP. And there is no much difference between SOAP and REST. REST is very flexible and lightweighted when compared to the SOAP. So that's what. And we see some example here. Here I already added some assertions. I remove it. We check the new ones. So okay, now I took the example of calculator. So in the new project we put the WSDL here. As soon as we put the WSDL and the WSDL related the calculator will automatically come and you can save it that project. And if we run this calculator, I have given the input like 10 and 5, so the result should be 15. And this is raw, and I go to XML it shows 15. So assertion 1 SOAP response is valid. If you want some other assertions, we can add it here. So for an example, valid status codes, we can validate if it is 200. Okay, so valid HTTP status code. If we want to see the negative, again, okay, assertion already added once. Okay, we can reopen that assertion and put 201 here. It will show failure. Okay, 200 is not acceptable list of status codes. And so next assertion we can add like compliance schema, compliance branding, and that's for an example. Here it shows add result, right? So we can verify the response is having the add result. So if you put that also it says contains valid. Like that we can have multiple assertions, and when we have so many requests, SOAP requests here and test cases, test suits are here, we can run it and ensure all are working fine. And okay, let me stick to the topic, and that's all about SOAP UI. There's not much. There's a lot of things can do through SOAP UI too. And next one we move on to the rest assured. In the rest assured, we see BDD style, how Hamcrest assertion are working, JSON schema validations, how we adapt that, and serialization, deserialization we do OAuth 2.0. So in this rest assured, I have created some scripts with some examples with the sample APIs. So first we see using rest assured how this get request is working. I have written it. api.postman.com. Okay, I generated the key from the Postman itself, and I put that key, API key, and this code slash workspaces, right? If we go to the Postman, first I created here and checked the verified here it's working fine or not. Okay, so I think this one. Still coming. Okay, okay. So here the authorization key I generated from the Postman, I'm passing it along with the header, and this shows the workspace whatever I have it in here, or my workspace Postman walk through here with. If we send it here, authentication, so invalid API key. Okay, what happened to the API key? Let me give me some time. I create that API key again. Here settings. That should be good. It's loading and all. It's taking time. I mean, I'm recording this video right through Wondershare. I think that also affects the application. Speed. Uh, that's what I see, because without Wondershare, it never this much slow. Um, okay. Okay. So here API keys is here, and let me generate generate a new key. The key name I give API key, generate API key. Okay, this key I copy and I paste it in a lot of places. It's better to paste it in the Postman key here. Okay, authentication set and saved it. Okay, and now I send the and check the workspaces. Yeah, all the workspaces are displaying in my Postman. And let me include this in. I am getting the keys from Postman only for my examples. So here also I change the key, and this here also you have to change this key. Okay, I changed it, and now we got this output, right? All the workspaces details we got it. We can copy this or copy this, and there is in the PPT I have mentioned something called not array index, groovy playground. Okay, see, rest assured uh, leverages groovy language. Okay, and specifically it's a JSON expression language. Okay, for the flexibility and readable JSON for navigations. Okay, JSON navigations. So mostly under the hood of rest assured, it largely largely used groovy only. So we of course we can use the groovy features. So if you see here, this is that workspace JSON, right? And when I execute this, it shows the array elements. Okay, so this we can validate it in the rest assured. That's what I mentioned here in the assertion. I am directly verifying it in the body. Here I use the here also I'm not using assertion. We can use assert that. See here, yeah, sorry, assert that. This is Hamcrest assertion thing. Assess that. See, assert that. Matcher. See, these three static statements are very important in rest assured. We have it static so that we don't have to mention the rest assured class in the given, when, and then some here. So that's why we're mentioning in the static, and this given and when and then are working based on the method chaining concept. For an example, if we have the class and have the object, and through that object calling the each method, means if you return that object in each method, then we can use that one object and call all the methods like dot method 1, dot method 2, dot method 3. So that's how the method chaining works. So similar way, may not be exactly, but in the similar way, rest assured also develop the same thing. And so now I have used this JSON path. In the pom.xml, we have everything. Okay, all the dependencies. So that's how I'm using JSON path and all. Okay, now I run. Okay, everything key is there. Workspace is the endpoint. If we execute this, you see these are all the Hamcrest assertions. So, like as items, how many these items are there or not. So type, workspace type, what we have as items personal, and equal to equal to 3, the size of the array. Okay, as item workspace is there or not. So if we execute this, both this method in testng, we can see the output. take some time. And the next concept is I'm going to say about two concepts. One is POJO and Gmail API. I worked on OAuth 2.0 using Gmail API. So this is passed all the workspace, and our assertion validations are it fetched the value my workspace as workspace name, and here all the checks are passed. Okay, whatever we verified. Okay, there is no, if there is any failure it will show assertion failures. Okay, and next one we see. Okay, I, I explain the POJO later. This OAuth 2.0 I explained first. Due to Wondershare only, its tool response is very slow. Okay, here, okay, Gmail API. What I did is I opened a Gmail API through Google and um, went to that entered logged into that Google Cloud, right? Google Cloud, and tried to create one application like a third party application with me as a developer, me as a tester, and generated so generated API keys. For an example here, I think developers, not this one, yeah, this one, Google Cloud Console API services. I explained it very briefly, quickly. It's loading late. See, I took some time to deliver this video because I lost my scripts suddenly, unfortunately, and then I wrote it again, that rest assured here. So that took some time for me, and okay, it's all taking more time. So I, it's due to the video is becoming, I mean, occupying more memory, I think so. Okay, okay. What I did is I created a scope, selected a scope, and made myself as developer and tester, and for developer for that application, and as a tester. So in the post man, once I got the uh, auth access token URLs and scope and Gmail URLs, nothing is working. So okay, let me at least explain through this one. Okay, this is the base URI. From the Postman, right? Postman, I used the Postman callback URL as the what that URL we call it as a redirect URL. Okay, as a redirect URL, I used the Postman callback URL, and based on that, through Postman, I was able to getting the bearer access token. Okay, that token only I used it here, and this request builder. See, instead of changing every time the in the given area the values for n number of requests, we can create this. We have this super before class annotation in the um, test ng that can be used to mention all the prerequisites like base URI, header, everything, bearer token, everything we can pass it, and we can simply use the rest of the things here, whatever need to. So this is my mail address. I am using this get API to fetch all my Gmail inbox messages. Okay, so that's what OAuth 2.0, how it works is, uh, we got the authentication token. How we got is, when I try to get the token from Postman, it opened that Google page, and that Google page asked me to check, like they are asking this bearer token and all, whether are you agreeing to give it, something like that. Then once I agreed everything, then the bearer token created. Then only we are able to access my Google messages through this API, this get request API. I simply run it. So this one I took it for a OAuth 2.0 authentication explanation. So say unauthenticated. I think again we need to generate the bearer token. So Gmail token, whatever the token I used here, I see this is the one I was talking about. Auth URL, token URL, everything. This is the Postman redirect URL. Okay, I selected the web option there in the Google Cloud, so that's why this is saying the callback URL cannot be manual and authenticating via the browser. Okay, we are authorizing using browser, so that in the GUI we can see. So I generate the token once again, so it opens the Google. See, in the API itself, we are able to see, um, while opening that client ID and all. So your call is authenticated. I don't have pop-up blocker, I think. So it's collecting access token. Authentication complete. Proceed. Again, I got new bearer token, because bearer token and all may expire after a short time. So it's stored, and now I'm sending this request. See, I'm able to see all my Gmail inbox mails. So similarly, I copy this and put it here. Put it here. Oh, and what happened? Something I didn't copy properly. Copy. Okay. Okay. So I save it. Now I believe it will authenticate and give the list of mails. Let it execute, and we see it. Authentication bearer. I hope. See. Now we are able to see all the message IDs. Okay. So this is one thing, and next, instead of I talk too much, I move on to the simple Pujo. This thing for this. Okay. A mark server we created, right, in the Postman, that I am using it here, and I created the Pojo class here. For everything it rotates. Okay. Okay. Pojo class. Here I have the parameterized constructor where I am passing key 1 and key 2. So I do that passing from here, that object, that this class I am passing it value 1, or we can directly send it to this set method. Here the set is there, no, set key, yeah, because getter and setter is the Pojo class, right? So it is, and I'm passing that object here, and response I'm extracting the response. There is some concept called object mapper. So okay, in this Pojo, and how we simply we read it and passed it to the body, and it sent this value to the server and getting the response, right? So how this serialization and deserialization, I mean from Java object to JSON object, how this conversion happen, everything is taken care by one library that is called Jackson Data Bind. I have the picture, and another one is JSON, and serialization. So Jaxby is for XML, I think. So so serialize, deserialize, JSON or XML address. So finally HTTP, and once written back from the server, again it deserialize, and it will come to us as after deserialize, it can be used as Java object, so that we can play around it and verify whatever the values we want to verify. So Pojo map list or Java objects. So this is how this serialization and deserialization happens. So object mapper is the thing support come from the Jackson data bind. Okay, so and we are writing value as string, and then we are comparing the response we are receiving, right? And with that response, with response we stored it in deserialized Pojo, this one. So here we have deserialized Pojo. I got this. Okay, we have deserialized Pojo. So and storing it in the new string deserialized Pojo str, and this one is simple Pojo str. So this is our request, and we are finally comparing it and checking whether the values are equal. Let me run it. I know I'm going very in depth technically, because I don't know exactly what the expectation, if it is a client or higher management, the expectations would be different. They give strict 30 minutes or 20 minutes time to to explain anything in a high level. In that high level we explain and give confidence to them that that can be handled, and that's the solution. But here this is an interview point of view also. I'm going in depth in technical also. So this one, you know, the value, the response we got, because it's a mock server, right? I already set it up. The response should be like this, so it returns the same response. Okay, Pojo completed, and okay, this is the rest assured. Then we move on to JMeter. Okay, JMeter is performance testing, API performance testing. Simple. I already created one get and post request. It's better to have this structure of creation. I remove view result straight up. It takes more memory. Mm, remove this. Okay. And now um, this is same request response only. So um, I directly come to the point. Um, so user defined, some of the things we you know um, mentioned in the user defined variables, and I am using some controllers also for the post and get. Here in the get request I mentioned all the get request, and here post request. Here I'm passing the value from global variable to the here this name variable job, and HTTP header manager where we keep the API keys and all. Okay, and if it is query, then directly pass it to the URL also, and summary report is where you can see the summary, um, and now we run it. In the list of users, for an example, I have some scenarios with me. Um, First, we take 10 thread count, 10 ramp up, 10 post, 10 for post thread count, and 10 for ramp up. This is a positive scenario. 1 second for each thing. I have seen it already, and it's not showing any error. So first we see this. Uh, First we see this 10 10, and here also I'm having 10 10. Let me clear and run it and see the. So appending to the Exchange file, already I have the CSV file in location, and I mentioned in the summary report. Let me close this. In the summary report, I mentioned this CSV file here. So it's asking me whether to append or overwrite it. I give overwrite it for the new results. So it's going to overwrite. Here the uh, the requests are hitting the server and getting the responses. So all the 10 ran, and we don't see any errors here. Okay, so this will be stored in the CSV. Okay, this is one thing. Let me go to the CSV file. um, I have JMETER results, where I have I got the updated output. So this is how the output looks like. All the 10 requests, right, from the get, and 10 requests to be sent through post method. So all results are here. In that, with the help of this, we can know, and using this CSV, we can generate the HTML report. Currently it don't have anything, and I go here and tools, generate HTML report. In results file, I browse it, go to the um, that path. First I you know um, bin uh, 1 second, I go to that path and desktop, JMeter results. Here I give the CSV file, and this one is user.property file. That output directory also I finish it here because we are in that location. Okay, and finally this user property file. User property file, we can get it from the bin folder. Where it is in the downloads, Apache JMeter. Only one more topic is left. Let me quickly complete it. What's happening? I'm double clicking, nothing is happening. Cancel browser. I go to downloads. Okay, inside Apache bin user properties. Okay, I select this and then generate the report. Some error. What's that error? 1 second, let me check. But this is how we generate the report. One status console. HTML report.log. Access is denied. Once I got this error, and I have full access to that folder. Let me check. Oh, No, this one only. Uh, Let me the properties, security. I have full access, and for Priglo also I have full access, and administrator also I have full access. Okay, let me. I think I made mistake in some other place. That's why it's. I browse this. First, I put the user properties. Okay, and I browse this. Go to desktop, and I select JMETER results, CSV, and here. Okay. I think I didn't select this properly before. Okay, it's going to generate the report. Something is wrong. That troubleshooting may take some time. It's something related to access denied. I've given full access, but the HTML report comes and it looks clean, and it will show whether the errors are there or not. I quickly, and if we have the response session here, and for this again we can change the get and this to 100. So the ramp up period is 100. The formula is ramp up divided by threads, which will give to the time per user values here. So why I tried this 25 and all means ramp up 5 and 20, which means within 5 seconds this 20 should be completed. So it threw a lot of error here in the summary report, and we can see it. So 10, and we directly go ahead and see that option here. For an example, I give 20 threads completing in 5 ramp down 5. Okay, and then here post I leave it as it is. Let me clear all and run it once again. Overwrite to the existing file. We see the summary report. See now what happened. It didn't show any error. Oh, maybe maybe this. I mean, I think this API can do that. I mean, I've tried with different API, and I change it to 50 here. Let me check if errors are coming. And post also I change it to 16.4. Okay, and run it. I open summary report, and okay, let me run it. Overwrite existing file. See what happens. Now we are able to see the errors here, and this is stored in the output JMeter results. With failures also we can see, because it couldn't see too many. So false. These are all false. Whatever too many we have, those are all showing false. It's not success. Okay, so this is how we can validate the API response time, and we can do the assertion and export that to the HTML report and share and say like this is how the APIs are performing. Okay, not meeting the expectations or something like that. The final one is according to the PPT, Datadog. This is the first time I learned and used it. So I understood like the server to the client, the time is the response time, and latency is request to response end, and load is completely the whole page is loading. So whatever the user is usually doing in their client application side, and the APIs are coming to server and getting the response, sending the response back to the client, and all these things whatever the users normally do in a similar way we do it through this synthetic requests. So and check the uh, API, monitor the API and see that. That's what we do it through Datadog synthetic. I open that Datadog. I installed the Datadog agent and opening that synthetic Datadog. So here all are working very slow. So whatever I created already, I show it. I show it through that only. Um, I'm not creating any new API test. Whatever I created earlier, I show it with that. So I created this. See, the creator is, my name is there. So created is, and for regions, I selected these three regions. I can go to that, the test. This is test. I again go and continuous testing. This is monitoring page, system whatever we set as a monitoring page, and this is where we can see the not result explorer, it's test. Oh, from there itself we can click it. Sorry, from there we can click it here, this one, and this will open whatever values I have provided here. See, so 4 assertions I added, like it should be 1000 milliseconds, status code should be 200, content type and JSON path should be success, and all I added it, and I set it up some time also. So for and selected for whatever the location I selected is executed and passed, that I can see it here, and I'm edit test, right, edit test will show how I created it. So here this is the get request I used, and these are all the assertions I added and selected the locations, and notifications, my mail I mentioned, authentication, so for so it's executing and running every time, and we can monitor it and see how our APIs are working regularly. We can check it. So for this we can use the Datadog. I saw many topics in the Datadog. It's very large things, and I think Datadog is mostly will be used by DevOps, but this is synthetic testing. This one I monitoring and testing, I found it like it's something related to the me, like API testing related only, so I used it. So that's all.